Hey guys, I'm back today with a book review on The Academy Introductions by C.L. Stone. Like I mentioned in my book haul video, this book was sent to me by the author. She reached out to me and decided to send me a copy, and I read it really quickly. I loved it so much. It was a very smooth read. There was a lot of excitement, and the characters are just very relatable and mysterious, and I just couldn't put the book down. Every time I put it down, I was just so eager to finish whatever I was doing just so I could get back to reading the book again. And I was so sad when the book ended. It is fairly short. It's 244 pages, and then there's some additional pages that are preview to the next book. This book is told in first person through the perspective of Sang. She's new to the town, she doesn't know anyone, and she's lived a very sheltered life, so she's kind of innocent and naive at the same time. The chapters are not numbered, they are names, so it's just each name represents the next character that she meets. So the first character that she meets is Max the dog, and Coda, who is the dog's owner. And so he's a complete stranger to her, but he invites her into his house, into his bedroom, and he takes care of her cuts, and he dries her clothes, puts it in the dryer, lets her wear his pajamas, and he tells her to climb into his bed, and he was sleeping on the floor that night. So Sang still got what she wanted. She spent a night outside of her parents' house. The reason why Sang wanted to spend a night outside of her parents' house is because she wanted to prove to herself that she could survive on her own and that she wouldn't run into trouble. Her mom controls her life, and she just wanted to feel free. For example, she says, "One night, I told myself, one night where I'm not sleeping under the same roof as my parents. I'm not going to die like my mother seems to think would happen if I did." Sang is so naive because she's so sheltered that she doesn't realize she doesn't know if this kind of connection with another person was appropriate. Being up late and talking about their feelings and just being so friendly with one another. I mean, how is she supposed to know if this is normal or not? She's never had friends before. So she gets along with Coda really well from the beginning, and pretty soon after, the next morning, she meets the next guy, which is Coda's friend, Victor, and then they meet Silas, Nathan, Gabriel, Luke, and North in that order, and they're all friends. They've been friends for years. Coda seems to be their leader. They always seek his approval. He tells them what classes to register for, and any decision that they make, he's kind of calling the shots, and they don't seem to question him, and they don't have any problem with that. They have this strange way of communicating where they just kind of look at each other and they can read each other's minds or something, and Sang picks up on that pretty early on, but she doesn't question them because she feels like it's not her place to ask because she doesn't know them that well. But each guy is attractive in different ways. I thought it was kind of strange how friendly the guys were to her because, for example, when Nathan meets Sang, she was walking by, and then they start this conversation, and then he invites her to go swimming in his pool, and then next thing you know, she's wearing his shorts. Sorry, my cat is kind of climbing on the roof back there, so he's being a distraction. But anyway, yeah, so she doesn't even know this guy, and she strips out of her clothes, puts on his swim trunks, and goes swimming in the pool with him, and they're flirting. I mean, they're like splashing each other and having a good time, and you know, they sit really close to each other. At one point, I think it was Victor who was like kind of brushing against her barefoot when they were sitting in Coda's room, and like when they're walking, they deliberately kind of nudge into her, and that kind of bothered me. Like, I felt uncomfortable for Sang. She doesn't realize that this is not normal. At this point, we don't know the details of these guys, but they all seem to be like filthy rich. They wear designer clothes. They took her to the mall while they got custom fitted suits, and they wanted to be able to communicate with her, so they couldn't call the house phone without her mom finding out, so Victor went out and bought her an iPhone with a pink case because that's her favorite color, and so she's able to play games on it and text them and call them or whatever she wants to do. So, I mean, she thought that was normal while she felt guilty that they were spending money on her, buying her a phone and paying for her lunch and things like that. It was kind of strange. I'm still wondering what these guys are up to. I mean, nobody's just that nice to you for no reason. And the fact that none of the guys seem to be fighting for her affection or attention, they're all equally as flirtatious and, I guess, forward with her, that it's just kind of strange. Sang also meets Dr. Green and Mr. Blackburn, and we don't really know who they are in the beginning, and then when Sang is done registering for her classes at school, she finds the guys and she eavesdrops on their conversation and hears them talking and realizes that they also know Dr. Green and Mr. Blackburn. Because she overhears a part of a conversation, she thinks she knows what's going on, so she runs off and decides to return the phone, return the gifts that Nathan gave her, which is the t-shirt that she really wanted from him. The part that annoyed me in the book was that Sang seems so unique and so different that you really like her, and then in this part of the book she acts like a typical teenage brat, whiny, whatever, because she overhears a very small part of a conversation, and she thinks she knows what they're talking about, and she runs off and ignores the guys, ignore their phone calls when they're trying to explain to her what's going on, and she attempts to return their gifts. Hi, Onyx. So she wants to return their gifts and wants nothing more to do with them. She feels stupid for accepting their kindness, their friendship, because she thinks it was pity. What I like most about this book is that the characters are very relatable. I kind of know some guys that are like the guys in the book, but not quite so mysterious, and I feel like I could be Sang. Like I said in my book haul video, I've only ever felt like I could be that character in the book with one other book, which is Hunger Point. Hi, Onyx. So, yeah, Sang, she grows up with a pretty crazy mom. She's very controlling and abusive. When Silas called the house phone checking in on Sang, her mom answered the phone and she was questioning her daughter, like, why is there a boy calling for you? And so she's never to have any friends. She certainly cannot talk to any boys. So her mom mixes up this lemon juice and a bottle of vinegar, and she shoves it in her daughter's mouth. Ew, Onyx. Her first gulp is all blood, and she makes her drink it so it ruins her voice, and for a week, I think, Sang wasn't able to talk because her mom made sure that she wouldn't be able to talk to boys anymore. So my mom wasn't quite that crazy, but I grew up with a very controlling family, and I wasn't allowed to go out with friends. I wasn't allowed to make my own decisions. I couldn't have any fun, and I was that awkward kid that didn't know what friends really were like, and sometimes it's still that way. I like the character so much that I want to know what happens next, and I think that is a great start for a first book in a series, and I feel like a lot of authors kind of forget that sometimes, that your first book, the first thing you have to do is lay a strong foundation to keep the readers coming back for more, and C.L. Stone has done an amazing job at that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you check this out. Oh my gosh, Onyx. Onyx. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.